Hi, okay, so this is video number 23 in the Red Flags of a Narcissist series. Video 23 is red flag number 23, which is intelligence. So a lot of narcissists tend to just be like wickedly intelligent. I mean, wildly outside the range of normal intelligent. And, my guess is in part this is because, they're such master manipulators. So that takes a certain degree of intelligence to manipulate people emotionally and financially and physically and spiritually and all of these things. So in a weird kind of way, even though narcissists are incredibly immature, and I would say almost have a lack, not almost, they totally have a lack of emotional intelligence, right? They're kind of like this 3-year-old that's trapped inside of an adult body. They follow their whims, there's no accountability, there's no empathy, there's no remorse. They kind of look at you crazy. If you tell them not to do something, they're always pushing boundaries. So there's, I forget who it was. It was some sort of psychiatrist or psychologist who had once said that basically we are all like little sociopaths until about the age of 6. And then maturity starts, emotional maturity really starts at about the age of 7 when we start having that sense of others. And if you ever watch little children, they really can be naughty. They can just be so hurtful and mean and just crazy. Like there's no forward thinking at all, right? Like if they don't like a new baby, it's not uncommon for them to try to like get rid of the baby or to ask the mom, you can take that baby away now. Like I want all of your attention. It's totally narcissistic thinking. And that's how all of us start out. Thankfully, the vast majority of us grow out of that, but narcissists just really don't. But a lot of them are really, really intelligent. The ones, and I've seen them be like outwardly intelligent. The one guy that I went on a few dates with, his name was Scott, who was a very obvious, I would say more overt narcissist, but he was trying to be covert, if that makes sense. Like he was kind of just giving lip service to the fact that he was kind and compassionate and caring, but I wasn't buying it at all. His actions did not match up with that at all. He was wickedly intelligent. He had started his first and only business at the age of 12. And he's now 49. And he's traveled all over the world for this business. He's done very well for himself. He's met a ton of celebrities. He's really done a great job at growing this business and, very, very impressive. He really was like wickedly intelligent and fascinating. I mean, he really could talk intelligently about pretty much any subject. And I was very impressed with how much he remembered and how much he knew about things, especially because, I'm a psych nurse. And so he would be able to speak intelligently about different, behavior disorders and, psychiatric psychotherapies and all kinds of things. And I just remember thinking, wow, I know people that are in my field that do this like me day in and day out, and they don't even have as good of a grip on this information that you do. And I mean, how often do normal people kind of come across, certain terminology in certain fields? It was very, very strange. The other two, Jack and Steve. Jack was, again, very intelligent. I wouldn't say like necessarily to like a red flag, but I definitely always felt that he was really working below his potential. He had a lot of, manufactured great qualities about himself, but he was very intelligent. He could present very, very well. He could fix my nickname for him was actually Crocodile MacGyverstein was the full nickname. And it was because he always wore this cowboy hat and he looked like Crocodile Dundee. And then Crocodile MacGyverstein. And then MacGyver because he could fix anything. I mean, the guy was so clever. You could say, hey, this is my problem, and he would always come up with a solution to it. So he was like just crazy, crazy clever. And then the Stein was because he was German. So it was Crocodile MacGyverstein was his nickname. But anyhow, very, very, just could always find a solution. Steve was also at the top of his field. Again, I always felt he was kind of working below his potential too. But very good at what he did. He was actually an EMT/paramedic, and he taught, or now does, some sort of like training for them. He was one of my instructors in nursing school. That's actually how I met him. But and that sounds so that sounds so awful, right? But it's not. So he was only teaching like the advanced life support classes. He wasn't like my mainstream instructor. I didn't like sleep my way into an A or anything like that. We only had him for like a weekend class once a year kind of a thing. But, you know, incredibly intelligent, top of his field. His narcissism, you know, he had, like they all had these like weird emotions, right? So he would be eerily calm in very high stress situations. So his narcissism, and his need for constant like public affirmation that he was this hero, that he was this great guy, actually works really well for his patients. So even though he's a narcissist and has no accountability, lack of remorse, lack of empathy, if I were a total, I mean, I wouldn't trust him with my life now at all, like God only knows. But if I was a total stranger, and I would want him to be the first responder in that scene, because he instantly would know what to do, and he'd be very cool and calm and collected. So a lot of narcissists tend to gravitate towards situations where that they do really well in, like that, like police, or maybe like surgeons, where there's also, and I think too with paramedics and EMTs and maybe even nurses and definitely surgeons, there's kind of this like bloodlust thing going on, or some people really like gross traumatic kind of stuff, and good for them because I can't handle it. I give shots a lot of the time. I can handle about that. That's about it. But some people really do well with blood and guts, and so it's kind of this really good, like appropriate way of taking that fascination and using it for the benefit of humanity versus becoming a serial killer. So kind of depends on how they use their intelligence and they use their interests. Doesn't make them, you know, good people. It just means that people are never 100% good or bad is what it means. And I think because people are never 100% good or bad, that's kind of why victims tend to stay. So especially with, you know, covert narcissists, because I was talking to somebody about this yesterday, how it just takes victims so much longer to leave one of these people because they can't reconcile, they can't figure out, is this, you know, a good person with bouts of bad behavior? Because that's what it would be if they were normal, right? Like the cheating and the lying and everything would be maybe a good person that just, you know, had some weird situational stuff. Or are they a bad person with bouts of good behavior? And so I was saying, definitely it's the latter, right? It's bouts of bad behavior. It's, you know, bad person with bouts of good behavior. But even the good behavior, there's always a manipulation behind it. So nothing for them is ever really truly good. They're either planting the seed of some sort of manipulation down the road, they're protecting their public image, they're feeding their ego. There's always some sort of like hidden motive for everything that they do. But intelligence, you know, it's a huge red flag. Again, it's not like one of those deal breaker red flags where like, I'm never going to date smart people again kind of thing. Like that would be crazy. It's one of those more interesting red flags, right? So you see it and you're like, huh, that's just interesting. So, and again, with all of these red flags, and I've met narcissists who I think are absolutely stupid. They're so like pathetic and transparent, like you can see them coming a mile away. So don't, you know, it's a spectrum, just like all these other red flags. Some people have it more so than others, some people not at all. And, you know, you kind of just go from there. So that's it for red flag number 23. Red flag number 24 is up next. Never apologizes is red flag number 24. I will see you soon. Like as always, if there's any questions, comments, concerns, frustrations, you just want to say hi, you'd like to share part of your story about this or any of these red flags, I would love to hear them. Please comment below. You can find me on my website at narcissistsupport.com or on Facebook. My support group is called Narcissist Support as well. Thank you. Have a fantastic day. Bye.